So it's very simple. The product transaction logic passes, and if the value is more than the amount of the product, and if it's less than, it does not pass it. So I'm going to show us an example. The first thing I want to do is to create an account. Of course, I've created an account. So we come here to log in. So we can see how many tokens in EXSAT that we have. EXSAT Bitcoin, of course. We can confirm our we could confirm this is the same. So we could see that it's actually on the Explorer of EXSAT. Now we could send an amount to anybody who wants to send it to. So let's say, for example, want to send it to a vendor. Now this vendor, for example, is selling assets, maybe digital books, and we want to pay for those digital books, and the price is 0.01 BTC. When we send this, we should receive a transaction ID. Now this transaction ID confirms that we have successfully bought it. It does not necessarily mean that we've crossed the threshold, but it just means that we've successfully paid for the commodity. Now, if we come to this checker, we copy it, and then first off, the transaction is live on the Chain Explorer. As you can see, 0.01 Bitcoin. But the smart contracts, I mean, yes, our logic, just our logic. When we check it, okay, we can look up the transaction, and we could see that the transaction was actually performed. So the vendor, they have this, linked with some CLI command. Here is the vendor's own. So they will just put this. So if the transaction actually happened, then it's going to show. I mean, if transaction happened and it's within the range, then it's going to show a green. But if it's not, it's going to show a it's not going to show a green. So it's like a git pass, some sort of. Now we also use AI to basically interact, to do things. So we can say that, for example, so we can interact with the AI, which is specially for this chain, to translate it, and it's going to give us detailed translation of it. Well, not only it, but every other thing that we need to know about the block, this Chainwallet application. Now, moving on, we also integrated the Bitcoin mainnet. Okay, this was EVM. So for the Bitcoin mainnet, so we have EXSAT wallet tracker, which tracks down transactions that have happened using the TX ID, the pub key, and the value. So what Chainwallet does is that it uses one of these two values to confirm the transaction that has happened. And if, for example, a vendor or a salesperson is selling a commodity and we pay for it, then we should see the transaction lined up here. And then we could confirm, or the vendor could confirm when we just submit it. So we're submitting this transaction and it is being confirmed. We also use the feature of the Reba etching TX data to do similar. Okay, we could search here for TX ID. We have this awesome graph. And then we could use these values, okay, to do whatever we want. Or we could just submit it straight to the TX. Now we could create Bitcoin wallets to perform transaction on the mainnet. So we could perform transactions on the mainnet. That's for Bitcoin. And when we generate our value, which we already have in the past, then it should give us our address. So we could either use Thunder or Bitcore to do the transaction. So if we're using transaction with Bitcoin, it's still going to return a value. Now we chose to use the Reba because of the mining and the speed that it does. It gives us a response faster than using the normal pool. And then we just submit our hex after we paid to the account. We also redesigned Thunder to host for different local hosts. Currently it's just hosting for one, but then we designed it to host for different one. So we could confirm the amounts to whom we want to send it to, and whatever the contract is with the vendor, we could actually send it, okay, to the person and confirm our transaction. For example, this transaction we've made to this our wallet in the previous is this amount. So using this application, we can use both EVM to do the transaction or Bitcoin using the Reba Shield and Thunder. And lastly, we can do Reba Data Insights. So we get live feed. And lastly, we get the Reba Shield, just in case we want to know current value of Bitcoin and other things. We use Reba Data Insights via the API. So using these payments is not only seamless, but we make it to be easy using our special TX lookup, which passes if it is within range. If it's not within range, then it just does not pass. Thank you. Drive Chain Launcher, which launches Thunder, which is what we're using to send Bitcoin, currently was using just port 3000, but we're able to do it to use any available port. For people that don't have Electron set up, okay, we designed it to be able to safely handle this.